You guys, action.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the King of Lunchtime Comedy Podcast, Season 2. My crown hasn't come in the mail yet, so I stuck with my usual, what are these called?
Hair.
Digs. Is this better? Should I spit the gum out?
I can't smell anyway. Years of coke and cigarettes. I don't. You could fart in my mouth and I wouldn't know what's going on.
Did you get that on camera?
Great to know, Seth Fox. Great to know.
Has that been recorded?
It has.
Alright.
Alright, so we're rolling.
So, they wouldn't let me chew gum. I don't have my crown. But
They
Seth,
wouldn't let me smoke meth either. So.
we wouldn't let Seth smoke meth.
Lots of rules on Season 2.
Fucking Jesus, goddamn regime.
Even though it has a ring to it, Seth and meth. It kind of
Fox.
rhymes. It's almost like you're meant to
Smoke it.
smoke it. Alright, everybody.
Actually, the last time I did meth was in prison.
Well, let's get into that. How long have you been doing comedy from prison?
From prison? Alright. I started stand-up roughly in 2013. I went to prison, I went to jail in 2017, 18, 18, 18, 18, 18, 19, 19, and then
Whoa.
I went to prison in 2019.
Did you stutter? Or
No, that's just I'm going through the. I've been in and out of the system like 19, 20.
Well, I was just making sure that
I get it.
All right,
as
so
a former addict or whatever,
my-
you didn't get lost in one of those loops.
I totally got it.
My official rap sheet is 2 counts of possession of heroin, 1 count of possession of cocaine, 1 count of possession of LSD, 4 counts of possession of drug paraphernalia, 27 counts of misdemeanor larceny, 3 counts of felony larceny, 1 felony breaking and entering, and 6 counts of second-degree trespassing.
And they didn't just leave you in there?
Oh, also, I forgot going armed with the terror of the people, possession of a weapon on educational property, and...
What does that mean? You went armed with the...
Okay, so what happens, I was at a woman's house, and I struck out, so I woke up and I started drinking at 8 o'clock in the morning, as you know what does.
Right.
And she drops me off at another friend's house, another comic.
Right.
And my homeboy was rolling by, he's like, hey, I got a bunch of I got a shit of acid.
Right.
And then I was like, hey, you guys want some acid? And they're like, fuck yeah. So I get all the acid, I take 4 hits, I drink a case of beer. This is by noon. I'm drinking a case of beer by this point.
Okay.
I took 4 hits of acid on his couch, and he was like, my family's coming over, you gotta go. I'm like, drive me to the liquor store. So he drives me to the liquor store, and I get a bottle of Evan Williams. I drink the bottle of Evan Williams. I cross the street, which is UNCC campus, and then I realized that I'm not tripping, even though I probably was. So I took 5 more hits of LSD, and the next thing I know, CMPD is kicking in the door, slamming me on my head because I was standing on a table in the cafeteria with a combat knife out, screaming at the students about everything that's wrong with this world.
Well, that sounds like something a comic might do, but
Yeah, I was trying to prove a point. I was trying to prove a point.
Yeah. Well,
I was in jail for a month.
that sounds fun.
Mm.
You want to recite any of... Oh, you don't remember. Is that right?
What?
You remember anything you said?
No, I have no idea. The DA told me this in court. And he was like snickering. Oh, by the way, that happened the Saturday before the Tuesday that the kids shot up the whole school.
Wow.
So that's
crazy.
what they were like, we can't let you go. And I'm like, I didn't fucking shoot anybody.
Yeah.
I'm trying to preach the word, goddammit.
They should have filmed it. That would have been
It's
nice.
probably on camera somewhere. I mean,
Were your, so you've been, from that I gathered, you've been doing comedy since 2013.
yes.
Is that right?
Roughly, yeah.
So during these times incarcerated.
I didn't do comedy when I was in prison,
Right.
obviously.
But did you like work on stuff?
I mean, I wrote constantly.
While it was a hilarious time in his life.
It's so much fun, you guys.
But do you wrote stuff there? Do you ever?
Oh yeah.
And you do material about it?
I do material. Right now, the set I'm working on is primarily written in prison.
I gotcha. That's dope.
Yeah. So.
I'd like to see it sometime. Too bad. This is quarantine edition, by the way. Everything's closed.
Boo.
Alright, so next question here is your comedy influences. Who were some of your comedy influences? Seth Fox? Foxworthy, maybe?
I mean, when I was a kid, I was reading like some of his books, but you know, I didn't know what else. I grew up in the fucking sticks.
I was kind of joking.
But when it comes to like actual influences, Louis C.K., Doug Stanhope's fucking up there.
Right.
Lately, I'm really digging Kyle Kinane. I mean, of course, everybody's gonna say George Carlin, Richard Pryor. Like I used to, you know, I used to have Pryor records playing in the background while I like went to sleep. Like
nice.
just to, you
That's
know.
awesome.
Yeah.
So it's like infused.
Yeah,
in your mind.
it's in there. I can recite Pryor bits that I don't even remember.
Here's a scary thing.
Yeah.
There's so few comics that like are doing that kind of shit now.
That's what I'm trying to do. I think there's so many, a lot of comics now, and I don't want to sound like this guy, but I'm gonna sound like this guy. A lot of comics right now are their whole sets revolve around, hey, look at me, I agree with you, and then like, meh, snidely, oh, well, you shouldn't do this, and if you do that, then meh. I'm like, no.
Passive.
Yes.
Comedy's not passive. Comedy's in your face.
Applause breaks aren't funny,
Right.
so stop doing them. It's that simple.
We should put a we gotta have an applause break there.
No, comedy these days has to be very nice.
People try to make themselves. I don't mean to cut you off, but a lot of comics I feel like these days try to make themselves look good or they look like the truth teller.
We're getting away from the art.
Right. I try to make myself look as horrible as I possibly can on stage, and then I just let my real life kind of speak for that.
For itself.
Yeah. So that being said, I did used to rob people for heroin. So.
Kind of funny now, sort of. But
I'm retired.
Yeah. Retired burglar Seth Fox. What are some of your comedy goals? Something you would like to do? I know you have a kind of a 20-minute special out on YouTube.
Yeah.
Anything else you?
People like it. I hate it. I think it sucks now. But it's 3 years
I
old.
watched it. I thought it was funny.
Thank you. But I mean that's just coming from my point of view. Like
right.
I've
grown since then.
I'm a different person. Like you know what I mean. So like.
So now you're looking more toward, you want to do an hour, or you want to do...
I mean, I would like to, but it's going to take some time to build up there. Like, I could, if, well, nobody's getting any fucking stage time right now because of the goddamn quarantine. But assuming I could get regular stage time, I could put together a solid 25, 30 minutes in a month and a half. And I'd be happy with that. But
sick. So, the question, goals, yeah.
Well, goals, me and another comic, I don't know if I should name drop, I'm going to name drop, Augusta Anderson and I are going on a multi-state comedy tour, hopefully starting in late July, early August, depending on how martial law goes. But, you know.
Multi-state, you're talking like, what, U.S.?
We're going down through
South,
Florida and then back up through Tennessee and then just, I don't know where we're going after that. But
dope. That sounds awesome.
Like
She's funny.
Oh yeah, I almost said I killed her fiance. I didn't kill her fiance,
Don't say you killed her fiance.
But people say I killed her fiance because we were best friends and he died.
And
shit's going on my phone.
it's actually a pretty perfect place to put that sound.
I was like, is that sound effects? God damn it.
Okay, maybe we should get away from that topic. I don't think you killed him. I'm just gonna say, as a King of Lunchtime comedy, I don't think Seth Fox killed that guy.
I didn't kill anyone, but if you're hanging out with people and everybody's shooting heroin and somebody dies,
right,
it's the fault of whoever put the needle in their own arm.
Boy, do I sound uninformed. All right, let's.
You might have to cut that out.
Let's change the topic. The next part is gigs, but I don't think
gigs.
It's coronavirus season. I don't think
I'm supposed to do Heist Brewery at May 4th.
Okay.
But hopefully that's I think stuff in May is still going on. Maybe
right.
I don't know. So hopefully Heist Brewery May 4th.
What was that?
Revolt. Yeah, Revolt comedy.
Dope.
That's the only thing I have right now that isn't completely canceled. I was supposed to be on 2 other shows, but they got canceled.
Well, let's hope that one doesn't get canceled. And
yeah.
You can see Seth Fox hopefully May 4th. May 4th be with you. Alright, so we're going to do a lunchtime question. Speaking of lunchtime, You don't get sandwiches. I'm sorry.
Fuck you.
I'm sorry. But the question is, though, let's say I were to have my chef out here. Seth Fox, what's your favorite thing to eat for lunch? Or drink? Whatever. Or smoke?
My favorite thing to eat for lunch?
Yep.
Xanax.
Me too.
My favorite thing.
Yeah.
No, I like Meat Lover's Pizza and fucking. Alright, so I like to make this salad, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's got steak, like a spring mix, like arugula, spinach, and shit like that. It's got bacon crumbles, it's got crispy onions, it's got blue cheese, and balsamic vinegar, not vinaigrette. Oh,
damn, that sounds good.
It's amazing.
We should go to Harris Teeter right now and make one of those.
I
think it's still open.
Is it?
I think so. I think all grocery
I'm down.
stores.
Fuck it.
I do need to go.
I got nowhere to be for 4 months, so.
Next segment on the podcast is called the Weekly Beheadings. Seth Fox is going to tell me. Sex Fox is going to tell me what in the world he wants to behead. And let me just say right now, you can't say coronavirus. It's a
Oh yeah, that's
half answer. But what do you want to get rid of in the world today, Seth? Go.
Okay, there's a CO in Albemarle Correctional Institution, and his name is Locklear.
Okay.
And I want to cut his fucking head off.
All right.
And
very specific.
I've been planning this.
Wow. Can I, as the king, I have to ask why you want to behead this guy?
Because he's a fucking dick beam.
Okay. Good enough for me. King of Lunchtime Comedy. What's his name? No, that's not his name.
Locklear. I don't know his first name, but he looks like the kind of guy that he's shaved head, got a nice trimmed beard. He's like stocky. He looks like the kind of guy that wears assless chaps and does bumps of crystal meth in an unmarked cement building off the corner of the highway, if you know what I mean.
And he's your correctional officer.
He's not mine. He's just one of them.
He's not even yours, and you
no,
want to
he's like overly aggressive to the point where like we need to shake you down. I'm like, what the fuck? You know,
wow.
We don't. What are you looking for? Because it's not contraband.
So you want us to behead him? Well, sure. Consider it done, Seth.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
No problem. Okay, next segment. We've killed Locklear. He's dead.
Can I just say, this is going to be really fun to edit.
Yeah.
Like this format.
Are we all in focus?
Well, the way I've got it most of the time is that you create this nice geometric V.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Like the whole shot's like, this is some Stanley Kubrick type shit that I've been doing over here.
Okay.
Like just to make this little thing look great.
Right.
Right. This is gonna look way better than it should.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And you're gonna get way more credit for the angles and shit. Like, if anyone were to ever dissect this, they'll start doing golden ratio shit on top of it.
Okay.
Like, this is why it's so good because the golden ratio. Like, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how important the angles are when it comes to directing, right?
So it sounds like your directing might be a little bit underrated.
Oh boy!
Which brings us to our next segment. Seth, what do you think in this world? This is called the weekly nightings, I think we called it.
I don't know,
the
but
nightings. You're gonna night something. It's something underrated. You tell the world to stop sleeping on this thing you think is so underrated. I don't know what it is. What you got?
It can't be a drug.
Yeah.
Just gonna throw that out there for you.
Fuck. Well, alright, now I gotta rethink my whole life.
Well, maybe you should have rethought your whole life from the beginning.
SethCorpIncorporated.com. I think that's very underrated. It's a great website.
Incorporated.
No, I think Kyle Kinane. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Kyle Kinane.
You're probably right. Never heard of him. Sorry.
That's your problem.
Really? I'll have to show you some Kyle Kinane.
You'll
like him.
Kyle Kinane's the motherfucker.
He's a really good comedian.
He's a fucking writer. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like he's tight. I love Kyle Kinane.
Kyle Kinane.
Also, Catch-22. I know it's a classic, but it is the single funniest manuscript I've ever read in my entire life.
The movie?
No, it's the book from the 60s.
Oh.
Like, just line for line, like, off the gate, it's one of the funniest things you'll ever read. Like, it's crisp, it's tight, it's quick, it's clever.
Right.
It's a major influence for me when it comes to comedy writing.
Who wrote it?
Joseph Heller.
Joseph Heller. Underrated things. I never heard of any of this stuff. Next segment, King's favorite segment. This got really awkward for a second, I don't know why.
I have another thing that's underrated.
Okay, go ahead. I was trying to move on.
Just take a breath.
Yeah.
You need to relax, bro. Like, hold on, let's let the king relax.
Yeah,
give the king some room.
A very underrated topic is sex between podcast hosts and podcast guests. Like, I mean, there's a closet over there.
Well, saying. We're gonna stop this episode early. 'Cause I like this idea. No.
No, you're not as
gay.
You're not as gay. I'm not here. Look at that.
All right. Now next segment.
I don't think either of you are either of you's type.
Right.
Right. That's why that joke doesn't work.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
nobody's believing that you guys are fucking.
Yeah,
Nobody. Nobody's watching this saying,
Nobody's
yes,
watching
these
this
guys
at
are
all,
fucking.
personally.
Right? And then no one's going to
start
say,
with.
I want to see these guys fuck. Right?
Right.
Nobody's going to put these two guys together and say, I want to see them fuck.
Gail might.
Is clonazepam... I can see that.
I'm kidding.
Is clonazepam... Yeah, that's a drug.
Never heard of it. Clonazepam.
It's off-brand Klonopin.
Sounds like it. Like Mr. Pibb.
Yeah, it's the Mr. Pibb of Klonopin.
Alright, so the next segment here on the King of Lunchtime Comedy Podcast, that was a much smoother transition, I think. The co-host position has yet to be achieved by any of my guests, and I'm going to ask Seth Fox here to audition to be my co-host, because I would love a co-host, and I'd like to see what Seth can bring to the table. Seth, would you please audition for me now to be the co-host? I like your watch, by the way.
Oh, it's broken, but thank you.
No problem. So that's one thing he's got going for him.
Broken watch, spirit.
I think a broken watch explains everything you need to know about Seth Fox.
I know where watches that
It's
fit.
really nice, too.
Like the bourgeoisie.
Right. Like, had that thing belonged to someone who remotely knew how to take care of themselves,
I tried to steal it for drugs, but
didn't work out. Right.
nobody wanted it. Alright, so what? How
the co-host.
do you audition? So do I audition somebody?
Yeah, you do what you would do if you were the co-host. I don't know what that means. Everyone else just says some shit. I don't know.
If you got into the gates of heaven, the Lord God asked you one question. What would that question be? I'm James Lipton of the Actors Factory.
Did you say Actors Factory?
Well, I don't know what the fuck his show is.
I don't know.
He's the fucking old dude. I'm the fucking old dude with a beard, so say some cool shit, motherfucker.
There we go. Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, that was good. I like it.
Finally, some real Seth Fox.
Actors Factory. I was like, whoa.
Actors
there,
Factory. Like, you had me until Actors Factory. I was lost.
Actors Mill, Actors Shit.
I was literally lost in this
the Actors
fantasy.
Union. I don't fucking know.
Like, I thought you were James Lipton. Until you said Ass Factory or whatever. What did you say?
When you approach the pearly gates
Right.
of the Ass Factory.
Of the Ass Factory.
I lost it. Like, oh, fantasy dead.
The shit gates.
If you had to visit a place called the Ass Factory, what would you expect behind those?
See, now that sounds like something Seth Fox would say
Right.
as a co-host.
Anything ass. Welcome to our new restaurant.
Hi, nice to meet you. You're a new guest. Do you eat ass? Yes? Cool. Follow me. Hold,
Good.
please.
This is good. I think, I think we're going to put your... Usually I say no to every guest. I think we're going to put yours into consideration.
My name in the hat.
We're going to put your... David, is that a good idea? We're going to put his into consideration.
No, he cannot be the co-host. He drinks too much.
Right.
He's unreliable. And he could probably die in the next week or so.
I'm immortal.
Isn't that perfect, though? Isn't that... Okay, Seth, coming up on the last stretch. This is the last segment of the podcast, right? This is the last one. This is the one where I ask you. Let's say we're out on like a balcony and there's just millions of people waiting on our every word, just like cheering. You know, it's the gathered masses that watch this podcast. And do you want to say anything to them before we leave? Do you want them to know anything specific? Maybe you have a story to tell. Maybe you have something.
When I first got to prison, right?
Right.
Like everybody hears, I went to prison for robbing people. By the way, nothing weird.
You robbed people.
I robbed people. It was businesses. It was like jewelry stores and Home Depot and whatever. Don't sue me. Right. Anyway, when you first got to prison, everybody tells a story about. What's the first thing you've heard about prison?
Rape.
That's the one. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
So, but in the state of North Carolina, there's a guy. He's a large African American fellow, and he goes by the name of Fort Knox. And he gets the name because he likes to find young, unintimidating white boys, knock them out, and then suck their dicks.
Oh.
So I thought.
Can I pause? It doesn't sound as bad as what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, if I had to get raped,
I
hope I get raped by Fort Knox, because at least I get to come.
Right. And you don't remember it. You just wake up and you're like...
I mean, I've been knocked out before.
Okay.
But instead of that, what happened, I went in Salisbury, and there was this other guy, and he was an old biker dude, and he really wanted to... He wanted to fuck me in the shower.
Okay.
But he couldn't rape me because he was paraplegic.
Okay.
So he just had to, like...
He's just a guy.
Ask nicely. They would give me soups and honey buns and meth and like,
and you just be like, no thanks.
Please, will you take a shower with me? I'm like, no, I'm not gay. He's like, I know you're not gay, son. I'm not really into gay men because they might have AIDS. I'm like, man, you're doing double life.
Right.
If you get AIDS, just don't take the pill. You're halfway home.
Yeah. Sounds good.
But like, I mean, he already can't rape me. What's he gonna do? Roll his wheelchair over the other guy? Like,
right.
I mean, come on. Like,
well, so he didn't get to rape you. Did you take the meth?
Oh, totally. I definitely understand why women friend zone guys, because in prison, prison gays aren't like regular gay men. Right. Prison gays aren't gay. They're straight men who fuck dudes, and that's terrifying.
Right, gay for the state.
It's their, you know, it's all they have.
Wow.
But he also he offered to pay me. He offered to pay me. He was like, I'm going to pay you $27.50 a month if you'll be my lover. And
that's not that much.
But in prison money, that's pretty good. But
I mean, if you're getting a salary in prison,
hey, $27.50 a week. $27.50 a week is pretty good in prison. But if I am to be a gay prostitute, I can't work for less than minimum wage. Like, if there's a candidate that supports better wages for prison bitches, that's who I'm voting for.
So you have standards.
But the irony of it all is he's a felon and he can't even vote.
That's the best part.
But he still has standards. He still has standards.
I'm not saying I won't sell my anus for meth, but I'm just saying, like,
that's not the way it should be.
I need a lot of meth to sell my anus.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are hitting on all the right points here. Just want to throw that out here.
So, wow, that's a good message to take home. All right, Seth, in all seriousness, where do you think people can find you on the internet?
Oh, cool. I have Seth.
Sorry. Come back.
I have SethCorpInc.com, SethCorpInc.com, and also at Seth Fox Comedy on all the stuff.
Seth Fox Comedy.
At Seth Fox Comedy and SethCorpInc.com.
Seth Corp Inc. What's on there? All your videos?
I got some videos, pictures, tour dates when the fuckheads clear off the streets.
Yeah.
And
Until then, order one of these pens.
Yeah, I got merch, I got pens, I got business cards, I got other shit coming. I got some stickers coming, I got some fucking lighters, I got some cool shit coming.
Hell yeah. Well, we're gonna go party. Season 2, episode 1.
King of Lunchtime Comedy.